Hey guys, welcome back or not welcome back. Welcome to a impromptu show that we decided to do randomly this morning because we haven't talked in a couple of days since Lou's been at the ranch. He's been in the woods.
The loony bin.
Yeah, he's been away from all like human interaction, from society, from Twitter. So I was like, let's catch up, and it's like another spin on personality picks, but we're just gonna shoot the shit and talk about random things. So why not, Lou? How are you?
Good. I know you had a pretty good betting weekend from
Oh
catching
yeah.
up. I had a very mediocre UFC card, profitable but not big. The main event getting canceled. I had a lot of things tied to the time props there, so I had a lot of pushes. I did have the only thing I had untracked was Suarez round 2 sub. Gave that on the prop show plus 1100. Hit the Malott round 1/round 2 sub. It's plus 330 on FanDuel. So it's nice to hit some props from the show. And then the big bet yesterday, glory, Man United coming through at plus 120 to win the EFL Cup against Newcastle. Also, my bet that I make every single game he plays. Fred to get a yellow card. Fred, never change, brother. Keep getting yellow cards. One of these days, the Fred special is going to hit with the yellow card and the goal in one game. But yeah, yesterday was real nice. Also, it's my team. So, like, I got to see my team win a title, which they haven't done in 6 years since Zlatan had a game-winning header against Southampton in 2017. So nice to get on the board for the boys.
Yeah, I was telling Lou how I remembered to bet Man United. I was telling him I remembered when I was drinking on Saturday night. It was like 1 a.m, I want to say. And I was telling my brother, I was telling like all his friends, like, let's bet Man United. We're betting Man United in the final. And they're like, okay, you're drunk. I'm like, no, I'm not drunk. And they
I
won.
mean, they had like this scary moment, like 7 or 8 minutes in. De Gea made like a good save, and from that point on,
Uh-huh.
it was like dominant. Like I can't believe they didn't give Rashford that goal. It's fine. He scores every game anyway. But once they took the 2-0 lead, it's like game was done. Casemiro, strangely enough, they said that was the first goal he's ever scored in a final, and this is a guy who's played in like
A
20
lot
some
of finals.
finals. So that's crazy that, like, I mean, Sergio Ramos scores every final, and Ramos only ever scores in finals. So it's so weird that, like, Casemiro, I mean, he doesn't take a lot of free kicks. Like, I understand it, like, but it's really weird, like, because he's a starter. I mean, he's not just playing in finals. The dude plays 80 minutes every game. So kind of shocked, but good for him. Good for the boys. But anyway, enough of that. I'll worry about United next week.
See,
And good win
Casemiro.
against Barcelona. And we beat Barcelona on Thursday, too. So, like,
Yep. Yeah, Casemiro is the one player because I'm a big Real Madrid fan. If you guys didn't know, he's the one player that I regret Madrid letting go. He was one of my favorites. Defensively solid, holds the
stud.
midfield.
He's a
He
yellow card machine, too.
Yeah,
Him and
yellow
Fred are
card
yellow card
machine.
machines. Like,
He's like a less aggressive Pepe, but in the midfield.
you love Pepe.
I don't know what it is with Pepe.
Hey, man, he's still all right for 40-year-old, man. He still plays all right. Still starts for
He's gonna
Porto, right?
play until he's like 70.
I think he
Watch.
still starts. I'm pretty sure he's still a starter for Porto. Like, so
Let's look this up. Pepe.
I think
He's the first person on Google by the name Pepe that shows up, so that's a plus. Yeah, he starts.
he's still on Porto. Just a
It's
solid.
You're gonna laugh. Wait, let me share my screen. So it's either Pepe, the actual soccer player, or this. This is what pops up.
Yeah, not that guy. Yikes.
The famous internet meme.
Pepe the frog. All right. So what
I
do we
bet you a
got
lot of
today,
people.
man? So what do we want to talk about with the people? I see Locker Room popped in just to say hello. Not to me, to you, but that's okay.
Locker room was my guy. He was my assistant manager. Long time ago. So shout out to Locker Room. If you guys don't follow him, give him a follow. He's a cool guy. I mean, there's a lot we could talk about. I mean, obviously we have the big UFC event this weekend. Let's just kick it off with that because a lot of people are used to seeing us talk about UFC. What's your favorite fight on this card? 'Cause there's a lot of good fights, but like I feel like very few that are back and forth. A lot of big favorites.
So if you know anything about the way I like to bet, I don't like betting cards like this. Like I don't love the juice boy kind of cards, like just typically. So like for me, I'm thinking what dogs dogs could I lean on here? So, like, because I'm a sick bastard, Marquez, Barrialt seems like a fun fight. I lean Barrialt. I don't know if I'm gonna his decision prop is like plus 390. Kind of intrigued by that as a prop. I'm looking forward to Cameron Simon against Mana Martinez.
Uh-huh.
I just like Mana Martinez. I don't know what I think of Simon yet. Like he comes out of the gate slow. Martinez is a decent starter. Martinez also shown me some heart, but like
Just the thing
I
with
don't
Martinez,
like,
man.
I know. I don't know if I may just sit back and root for him. Simon's round 3 prop is plus 550.
I
I
love
don't think
that.
I've ever seen a prop that low. It's crazy. Like I've never seen like they know. I'm looking forward for Basharat. I like the brothers. Like, I mean, I like Javid a lot. I'm gonna probably take a poke on Ribovic at plus 195.
It's not a bad look.
I'm interested in that. But there's only one fight that really fucking matters to me. And that is the beginning of the legacy that will be known as Bo Nickel. I'm a big Bo Nickel guy, like huge Bo Nickel guy. Obviously, like the main event, I love. Clearly, I like the main event. But Bo Nickel, I mean, he's so like my girlfriend doesn't really care. She watches some of the events, but she's a Penn State person. As soon as like Bo Nickel's on, she's like, I want to watch this guy. Like, there's like a pride in the area. Like, oh shit. Like, and then he goes out there and just annihilates fools. His round 1 prop on Bet Online is minus 190. His round 1 prop with the Contender Series was like minus 400, 500. Is Jamie Pickett really better than a Contender Series guy? No. So like both, I guarantee you, if you're watching this video Thursday and you go look at that number, it's probably minus 400 at this point. But like, I don't know how I just don't bet Bo by like murder round 1. I love the number. Main event, obviously. You know, I'm looking forward to Shavkat. Like, it's a cool card as a fan. I don't know how cool it is as a better. What do you think? Because like, this is not like you like betting. You're more like money line and like 2 like parlays more than I like to go. Like, just our styles are a little different. But even on this card, if you try to like 2 team some of these plays, it's like you're not getting like below minus 200 real easily. You know, like what are your thoughts on like this from a betting perspective? What are your thoughts?
I mean, there's a lot of good spots, and specifically in terms of those two fighter parlays. And I locked one in earlier today, about a couple hours ago. I'll just give it out earlier on the stream. I know I give out my shit for free on Saturdays, but before lines get out of hand, I mean, I locked in Dricus Duplessis and Ian Machado Gary. Please, he took after.
I'm glad you're on the Duplessis side too. I didn't mention that, but I'm glad to know you're on that side.
Yeah, and I locked that one in. I think the odds are like a minus 146. I don't
That's
think
nice.
you can
That's
go
respectable
wrong.
for that.
Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong there because I think Duplessis is going to drown Brunson. And people talk about how Duplessis is a gasser and whatnot. Have you guys seen Brunson? First of all, the age gap.
He's talking about retirement too. Just for the record, Brunson's talking about retirement.
Yep.
We know what happens when a fighter talks about retirement.
They go out pretty quick. So Brunson tends to gas after that first round. He's going to start shooting some sloppy shots. I think Duplessis is going to catch him in a guillotine in the second round. I know you like your second round props, so
well, they do pay more.
Second round sub. I'm probably going to lock that one in myself. So that's something I locked in earlier. A fight that I'm really excited about this weekend, and it's flying under the radar. It's Cody Garbrandt against Trevin Jones.
You're on the
Cody
Garbrandt
Garbrandt,
side,
obviously
right?
trying to make a resurgence and prove that he still can fight and his chin is not a liability. You see him on Instagram posting these videos doing like this workout with something attached to his chin, and he's just like,
it was so weird.
I don't know, something like that. Trevin Jones, we know him to be someone that's very low volume, very trigger shy at times, but when he lets it go and he lands, he has power. And I think in this fight, he won't be as trigger shy because he doesn't have to worry about leg kicks as much. He's faced a lot of guys that throw a lot of leg kicks. And
Javid was throwing tons of leg kicks at him.
He destroyed him. He just kept him off balance, so he couldn't plant the foot and land clean or land flush with power. If he did try, he was missing. So I think he might be able to get Cody out there. That's a nice underdog pick. I'm not sure if I'm going to lock him in myself, though, but I'm just excited for that one.
Can I give you a fun number on that fight that is intriguing to me? If you like the Garbrandt side, if somebody's on the Garbrandt side here, I think he's going to fight a little tentative, and he may even like try to grapple a lot. Garbrandt by decision is plus 505,
Didn't
which is
Garbrandt
like
go to like
wild. It's a wild
Dagestan?
number. What's that?
Didn't Garbrandt go to like Dagestan a couple months ago and train wrestling out there for like a month or two? Or
Everybody
that
says
was just, did he just say that for shits and giggles?
who knows? But he went the distance with Font for 5 rounds. Like it's not, and Garbrandt like didn't tire. He was just getting outstruck. But I don't think he looked particularly gassed. It's his chin that's a liability, not his cardio. Like if you like Garbrandt in this fight, I mean Jones is pretty tough. Like Jones is pretty durable. If you like Garbrandt, that decision prop at 5-1 is like
It's not
it,
bad, honestly.
I may say it's a prop to consider and then maybe bet. I would say maybe that's what it is.
Hey, tell him when you're gonna have that video live.
Props to consider.
Yeah, when you're gonna have it up on the YouTube.
Well, I'm gonna record it Wednesday night. I'm gonna put it out Thursday morning. But you might want to know who my guests are because
Oh yeah. Let them know. I know who they are. You tell me.
so Pat Addicted to Combat making his, I believe, his second appearance on the channel. It's been a while. I think the Bet Elevator was the last time he was on. And then Cody, Blood Money Bets, had never been on before. I've worked with both of them before, but it's cool to have them both on. I know that Cody is not much of a prop gambler. Pat is, but
Mhm.
Cody
Yep.
is more of like a, here's his 4 or 5 bets for the card, and that's it. So I like when people that bet like that have to kind of like go completely out of their element for my type of show. So, look, we're not getting mentioned on the MMA hour. I don't post a bunch of tweets about all the props that we hit, but we're doing all right. We're for number 2 prop show in Twitter land, we're doing all right over here. So
That is
I got
true. You
I
have
got
been
some,
on fire lately with the props.
yeah. I mean, like, it's my favorite thing to bet is like that kind of weird shit. Oh yeah, and Jones fight. I'm completely betting the handbags in the Jones fight. Like, there's no.
You think so? I think it's just such a high level kickboxing fight where these guys know how to use their weapons and they
Well,
won't
look at the fights
land.
he's cheated in, dude. Cheated against Anthony Smith. No, did he cheat against him or not? He got DQ'd in his one loss. Like, I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
it's Jones, dude.
All right.
Jones
Yeah.
is like Jones is a sociopath. Like, could he intentionally rake Gon's eyes? Absolutely. Like, what side are you on in that, by the way? Because I am I have a thought, but
I mean, for me, the bet is over 4.5. If I were to pick a side, it's going to be John Jones because I'm just such a big John Jones fan. I think he is better than Gunn everywhere. He's going to be faster than anyone Gunn has ever faced. But I feel like over 4.5 is just such a solid bet. Like either of the fighters by decision, I don't think you can go wrong.
so what if I took what you just said and raised it a little bit and said that I really like the split decision props?
What? Okay.
Because for a 5
Yeah.
round heavyweight fight, honest to God, they're not out yet. You're probably going to get plus 700, plus 800 just for it to go to split. And because the money lines are so close, you're probably going to get like, dude, plus 1,400, 1,500 each. Like you're going to usually get like close to 2-1 odds if on an even line, like for a split. So, dude, you could just, and tell me that like if this thing doesn't go to decision, the way it would play out would be so wonky because Gon's going to be faster, but like look at what one-legged Ngannou won a torn ACL. Look at how he was able to control him on the ground. If Jones
never showed any wrestling, by the way.
Right. If
Never.
Jones gets his trips going and Jones, like his trips are like, nobody's talking about like.
Did you see the video that someone posted like yesterday or the day before about him tripping Walt Harris when they were training?
No.
Nasty. I'll have
and
to
he's
find
been doing it his whole
quickly.
career. Like he did it to Cormier. Like he was just like putting him down. Like he's so slick with it. Like, look, we don't know how fast he's going to be. We don't know how fast he's going to be. There's a lot we just don't know. But if Jones gets him down, especially with all this extra weight, like I got to think he could just end the round on top. So like Jones could win rounds, but on the feet, I'm not convinced that Jones is going to be faster. Oh, brother, here he comes. Here comes Pat. I'm not convinced that like
to bet the decision.
I'm just not convinced that like that Jones is going to be better on the feet, like at least initially, and then. But if he goes to the ground, he's going to win all the minutes. So like, I kind of think we're getting like a wonky split here, and I think Jones by split's probably the play.
I feel like if
they want Jones to win, like look, if there's narrative nation here, they want John Jones to win this fight.
They definitely do, and I feel like if you wanna bet John Jones, like, I wish I had access to live markets. Like, I'm still in the process of funding the BetOnline account. I might do it before this card, and, I feel like if you wanna bet Jones, bet him after round 1, because I think he's gonna lose round 1 at a pretty high percentage.
I do too.
That ring rust, 3 years, up a weight class, it's not gonna be easy by any means. Now, he could come and prove me wrong and just look like the same old John Jones and look good, but I'll take my chances. I would definitely take my chances. You'd probably get him at like the minus 130, 120 after round 1 if he loses round 1 pretty decisively. But I mean, I'm just struggling. I'm going back and forth on whether I think Gunn's going to win or whether I think Jones is going to win. But I ultimately think the grappling is going to be the deciding factor. If Jones can get the grappling going, then he wins, in my opinion, because he can just get the control time over a couple of rounds, and there you go. You cruise to a decision.
Should be fun.
I think he has the power advantage there too.
You want to talk about football or baseball next?
Let's see.
I got them both up. I got them both up ready to talk about. So we talk about everything tonight.
Let's do baseball. First of all, let's check out the chat here real quick. We got Evan.
Dumpy, I'll give you a 100,000. I can do that play once the props come out. Like right now, there's just no props. Like I can't, my
Dumpy,
book doesn't have anything.
Dumpy's been all over the international hoops this morning. He's been.
Here's the difference. For you to give Dumpy a plus 100,000 play, it would be a 19-leg parlay. For me, it would be a 3-leg parlay. It would be like this guy by split decision, draw, and like yam bags. Like that would be like the three-legger that gets you
there. Alan, yeah, we have the Hornets minus 3.5 in the first half. They're up by like $1 million right now, so looking good in the second quarter. Shout out to Rob, Dumpy. We got all the boys in the chat. Kierix, always in the chat. Mr. Patty Mac. Appreciate you guys for hopping on.
It's an interesting comment by Kierix. Do I think betting a point? No, because I don't think Mark Smith is consistent fight to fight. Although I will say what a bizarre, it's weird because Mark Smith is the guy who never deducts points for cage grabs ever. He's 7 warnings, Mark Smith with that.
Uh-huh.
But then there's an alleged bite, which
where Alves stuck his finger in there.
I mean, Alves immediately got up and said, "Hey, look at this!" And the other the Eagle was so confused. Aliev was like, "What?" They just took the point. There's no video evidence, but I see a bite mark. Does he know what he's doing? It's so bizarre.
That was crazy.
So strange. And Aliev was never in danger. Yeah, he was in danger for 10 seconds in a guillotine. He's never really in danger, but I think Mark Smith's so inconsistent. To me, you know what? If we knew the refs in advance, I'd bet a point in every Jason Herzog fight because I think he's the best ref they have. Even the Selecki De Silva fight, he took a point when Selecki had him still on the ground. He didn't break the fight up. He deducted the point from De Silva. I think it might have been cage grabbing. I can't remember. While he was already on the ground. So he didn't disrupt the flow of the fight. He just took the point as they were fighting, which I thought you don't see refs do that. I think Herzog's the best guy they have. I think he's not a guy that gives you 10 warnings typically. I think he's the best ref they have. Mark Smith is just he didn't used to be this bad, was he? Has he just gotten worse? Because I don't feel like he used to be as terrible as he is, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
I think he got worse over time. For me, the weirdest one was the Trevor Peak fight. Whoever that ref is, I can't remember his name. The old guy,
Kerry Hatley.
Yeah, Kerry Hatley. That was some horrible reffing.
Well, that fight was over 40 seconds before.
Well, yeah, it was horrible reffing in the sense where, what's his name? I can't. My brain is fogging. It's Martinez, right?
Ghost Pepper, yeah. If you had a round 1, Gonzalez. If you had a round 1 ticket, you were losing your mind.
Yeah, here's the thing. Martinez was absolutely done. He's on the floor. He's not defending himself. And
these were
Trevor,
the punches.
you could see him look back at the ref for a second, and then he just dagger shots him twice, and then he's like, "Okay, now I'll stop the fight."
He threw punches He threw punches like Bo Jackson was trying to throw you out from the warning track. It was crazy. He's winding up like he's throwing a baseball. but he landed everything he threw. Every one of those punches. I mean, look, I said it on all my breakdowns last week. Look, Ghost Pepper's too good of a nickname to be wasted on this guy. Like,
yeah,
give somebody else that nickname. Like, keep that nickname in the UFC. Create a fighter for all I care. But like, dude, I mean, he was fighting for his job, and like, yeah, it's funny.
that's funny.
Like, Gonzalez was fighting for his job, and like,
Fighting
there
for his
was
life.
merit. Like, if you were on the Gonzalez side, like Narco, for example, and I were talking about this during the week, and like, him and I, like, there's compelling points to go in the favor of Gonzalez. Like, he's fighting for his job. He's hurt Miller, like he hurt McKinney, like he's had moments. I think what was missing in the handicapping here is that Peak is just literally like a dude that doesn't feel any pain. Like, he's just like he's a hick that just walks through fire, and he's like, I don't give a shit. Like, and you can't trade 1-for-1 with this guy. Like, it's a horrible strat, no matter how untechnical he is. And there'll be a time to fade Peak very soon.
Oh, absolutely.
But Pat,
I can't wait for that time.
Dude, I was talking to Pat today about like what guys could you match Peak up with next and have him win. Like, Herbert would be a fun fight. Steve Garcia, Hooper. Like, I'm just thinking all these dudes at 155 that are like, you know, like, how about Charlie Oliveira? Like, you want to give Peak a win? Give him Charlie Oliveira, dude.
No, I feel bad for that dude.
But he'll just like flat out murder Oliveira in like a minute, and it'll be hysterical because I hate Oliveira's head. Like, I hate the
under
head.
30 seconds. Bet the under 30
so if you're trying to get Peak on track, like Kyle Nelson, like there are dudes you could give him that he can just kind of steamroll until you get to like, you know, and I'm joking with Pat. I'm like, he's like, I think Peak's all right. I'm like, okay, well, put him again with Topuria then and see how that goes. Dooho Choi is a good one. Like, but then like the thing is then you have those guys, and then you like look up the ladder, and it's like, here's Topuria. This Topuria would fucking murder him. Now, as a fun fight, don't like get on me for this, because I know I don't really want to see this fight. How about Peak against Ryan Hall as like a meme? Like, it's Hall just Mari rolling him for 15 minutes, and Peak just trying to like do that, like punch him like Topuria did that. He finally caught him rolling once, and like the fight was over. Like, that would be the whole fight. And don't tell me you're not here for it.
I'm here for it. And all I could imagine is Trevor Peak when he's punching with those dagger punches, just holding an actual dagger. It's like stab.
Like, I wouldn't want to fight Peak in a bar, dude. Like I don't fear a whole hell of a lot in life in terms like I'll take an ass kick, and like I don't really give a shit. I wouldn't want to fight that dude because like he's gonna hit you like 30 more times when you're unconscious, and then he's not gonna buy you a beer. Like, he's gonna be like, well, you owe me a beer, and I'm like, what happened? I'm unconscious. He's like, yeah, you owe me. God, like, that's the problem. If he were to buy the beers, I'd take the beating.
No, I would not.
It's classy. It's the classy thing to do. The winner of the brawl just buys the round. I think it's the classy thing to do. I don't think Peak would do that. But I don't know. Maybe if you get him on the channel, that's a question I want answered. Would you buy the beer if you beat somebody's ass in a bar, which I know he has? He has talked about it. Do you buy them the round afterwards? Is it like, all right, let's go have a drink?
If they're not in the hospital, that's the question. If they're not in the hospital.
Like, dude, would you eat, like, how about just a shot of like Banker's Club gin? Like some rocket fuel. Like, that's like $1 a shot. Like, just do that. It's a gesture.
No, at least gotta get him like a Coors Banquet or something. Some little nice.
I wonder what like the big. We'll have to ask him what like. I wonder what the big beer they drink in Arkansas is. Like, I mean, I know in Boston it's like Sam Adams.
Is he from Arkansas? Because I could have sworn it was Alabama.
Whatever, it's the same shit.
That's what it's at least.
PA. I mean, PA. It's like Yingling's the big beer company around here. Like, you know, Boston, it's Sam Adams. Like Chicago, it's whatever Wheezy drinks on a given day. Like, but like, I wonder what like the big like. Is it a Coors Town? Like, I don't know. Is it a Bud Town? Like, to me, I would think it's a Budweiser area, but I don't know. All right, enough about my
Bud Light or what's the champagne of beer? I keep forgetting.
Oh, the Miller High Life.
Yeah, Miller High Life.
It's my preferred shoey beer, by the way. It's a very
40 hands. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Edward 40 hands.
But you don't remember? I've brought this up before, I think, with you. You don't remember like the Mickeys, do you?
Mickey's. No, I don't get the reference.
Okay, so I see Patty in chat. Patty remembers Mickey's. So Mickey's was malt liquor. I don't think they make them anymore. You could get them in 40s if you wanted, but that's not how you wanted to buy them. So you would get this 12-pack of, they look like grenades. They're like circular green glass bottles that look like grenades. I think they were 12. I think they're 12 ounces each, and it's malt liquor. And it wasn't bad, but like you get a 12-pack of this shit for like, I mean, Pat, I don't know if Pat remembers like what they used to cost when we were in school together, but like I'm thinking like it was like 11-10 bucks for like a 12-pack of
Mhm.
these things. You get fucked up, dude. Like I'm like, and this is not like the good kind of drunk. This is like you hate your friends drunk. Like that and ice beer, like you hate your friends. Like ice beer is like when you're playing a league in like Tecmo and you're getting really mad that somebody just keeps calling running plays, like irrationally angry. But yeah, Mickey's is like cheap as shit. Mickey's was good, dude. Like you're probably drinking Old D when you're younger, right?
Well, to be honest, I didn't start drinking until I was 20, 21. To be
Okay,
honest with
so
you, like
so what'd you start? So what were you drinking?
apple juice. Oh, are you talking about when I first started? Oh, bro, I was rushing as fuck. I was all on the vodka.
Yeah. So
The
you never
vodka.
drank like any of the shitty stuff?
I mean, I've had some Four Locos in my life. When I was desperate, I had that 99 tequila, like those shooters. Oh, it was so bad, so
Yeah.
bad. That's when we were down bad, no money.
So you never had Mad Dog 2020. You ever
Mad Dog.
drink that?
Nope, I've not
So
heard
you
of
don't,
that.
oh, that's like
Oh, have you had
windshield
a?
wiper and like moonshine or some shit. Like, dude, but it's another one of these things. Liquor store, it's like $5 for like I think like a 375 milliliter bottle. And like you're just fucked up, dude. Like
Have you
these
had
are
a
like
Buzzball before?
I have not.
Wait, let me pull up a picture. So Buzzballs are pretty popular here in California amongst us young folk.
Does
And
it have caffeine in it? I'm gonna assume it has some
no,
kind of like
no,
guarana
I'll
or
pull it up
like
on the screen right
crack.
now. There's multiple different flavors and different kinds with different alcohols in them. So it's like a little ball here. I'll show you.
See, I'm like Rob Lawrence. I'm a whiskey. I mean, it just add a couple of years, but I'm the same. I'm Rob and I are kindred spirits over there. You know, I'm a whiskey guy. That's like,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Now I'm starting to educate myself. It's
So
only
this is what the Mickey's things look like, kind of.
really, yeah. So it's pretty much in that little tiny ball. It will fuck you up like instantly. You have a margarita one, which is the green one. The red one's also a strawberry margarita. There's the espresso martini, which is the brown shit looking one, and the eggnog one is kind of garbage. Uh, it tastes more like a pina colada. But anyways, these things we would chug like two of them before a party or before we head out to town, and oh my goodness, you are done. You're done. You're walking all sideways. You're loopy. Uh, Probably wear off in like an hour to an hour and a half. But that's pretty popular. I can't do any of those anymore. But if you
Hold
ever
on,
want to get a quick buzz,
hold on.
you got to get one.
I want to show you something. So this is another thing. When I ran the bar, if you could put that up on the screen.
Yes, Evan, you are spot on.
So
Partner model.
when I ran the bar down the street, the guy before I guess he bought a couple things. So I saw this and I'm like, what the fuck is this? So this is moonshine. It says whiskey, but it's moonshine. This is from St. Louis. So I wonder if like my buddy Snackapova can find it. Cause like shipping this, if I want to buy this out of state, it's gonna cost me like for one bottle, it's gonna probably cost me 60 some dollars. Like it's crazy the taxes they pay to go cross state with this.
Oh my
But this
god,
shit, but this shit, like it looks like it's so bad.
it
And
looks like a can of gas.
it is, but like there's something to be said from like like when candy falls out of a vending machine, it tastes better. It's like when alcohol served out of this, it tastes better to you, even though
Mhm.
it's very horrible, low grade alcohol. But
It's an
like,
experience.
I found like 5 or 6 bottles. I don't work there. It's been years since I worked there, so I don't really care about trade secrets. It's been, like I found like 5 or 6 cans of this stuff, and I'm trying to think like how do I price it? Because like I don't know what it costs. Like I don't know how to price it for shots. And then I decided instead of pricing it, I'm just going to drink it
Mhm.
completely. It's going to be my post shift drink. It's going to be my like tap beers or your post shift drink because like they don't out of a
Yeah.
keg. They don't really cost like bottles you account for like they're a little more expensive, but like anything off tap's fine. But then I'm like, well, this isn't in the system. None of this is in our system. So this is ghost liquor. It's ghost liquor. So I'm drinking it. And then like anybody that stay like when I close, it's like 3 a.m, Uncle Bobby, I can't sell you alcohol, but I can sure serve it. Just can't sell it past 2 a.m. So I'm like, well, let's drink out of a fucking gas can. And everybody's like, they don't care. It's free. It's 3 a.m. Like, not sober. They're like, cool, free stuff. Like, I could have served it out of a bucket. But that's
I like the
another.
gas canister more. It's a little bit more appealing to the eye.
I mean, it's like it's so ridiculous. Like, but all right, anyway. Now I want to kind of have a drink, and I'm trying to like to stay off the drinks here.
Yeah, okay. We'll lay off the drinking talk. Yeah,
So
that was
baseball
a
or
fun little segment.
baseball or football? What do you want to do?
Let's go with football. Lead us off,
All right, so
and we'll
let's
close
talk.
off with MLB.
All right, so let's just like I haven't delved into like everything about the draft. It's we got time, but what I want to talk about is what you think about stay off the hooch. What I want to talk about is like what do you think of the quarterbacks in this class? So like the Bears are probably, I'm seeing the Bears are probably going to trade down, which I think is very smart for the Bears right now. They have too many holes. Keep Fields for now. It doesn't matter.
Well, there's a lot of people saying that they're trying to trade Fields, possibly,
I
because they like the arm talent of CJ Stroud.
But they would need. I think the offer would be insane because the thing is what could you give the Bears for him? Like I think the Bears are better off keeping him. But so like projected in the first round so far, just QBs I want to talk about. So we have Bryce Young, we have Stroud, we have Levis. I know Anthony Richardson's up here. I don't know if there's any other QBs. I'm looking right now, unless they're projected late in the round. But those are the big four. Yeah, I don't see anybody projected to go.
Do you
So
hear
we
about
got those are the big four. What do you think? What do you think the success level is of these guys? Because I saw somebody on the Action Network's like, "There's value in Richardson at number one,"
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
was about
like,
to ask.
"You should lose your job because there's no value in him going. There's no world where Anthony Richardson goes number one in this draft. None."
No, not number one. No, no way. No way. I think the consensus is Bryce Young.
Yeah, for the most part, I think a couple people have Stroud, but like, so what do you think? Like, out of these four, do you think like, do you like four of them? Do you like none of them? Like, what do you think their potential is? Like, maybe next week we'll talk about some of the defenders. Like,
Mhm,
we'll put in some research, but like,
mhm.
just based on these QBs, like, what do you think? Because next year's class is going to be pretty good. So I
For
don't, you know,
for me, I think the best out of them all, the most NFL ready, I would say, would be CJ Stroud. He's big, he's mobile, he's very accurate, he has the arm talent. The guy plays with swagger too. He can do it all. I think he's probably the best out of the bunch. But the name value of Bryce Young, being at Alabama, uh, putting up those monster games, I think that's what's keeping him at number one. Uh, I personally like Stroud more. I think Bryce Young could end up hindsight being like a Baker Mayfield kind of quarterback. He's not as small as Baker, but still a tiny quarterback. He's not that big. And have you seen his frame? Like this guy might get destroyed in the NFL after a couple of tackles. So I feel for him.
yeah.
I just think CJ Stroud should be deservedly like the number one pick. But they won't give it to him because he didn't really accomplish too much. What do you think?
Also, Ohio State, not really known as QB University over the years.
Yep.
They've had a lot of guys tonight. I don't like any of them. I don't like any of the four quarterbacks at all. I think they are
Okay.
all. I don't like Bryce Young. Like everything you just said about Bryce Young, I agree. And in all fairness, Alabama this is the worst year Alabama's had in like God knows how long. I know they had a lot of injuries on the O line. I know they had a lot of injuries at receiver. Bryce Young didn't win those games. He didn't
Mhm.
step up. The Tennessee game, I think, would have been like a nice marquee moment for him. And Hendon Hooker just like, and we haven't talked about Hendon Hooker because he's injured, coming off the injury.
The
He's
Giants are
probably,
talking to Hendon Hooker.
he might go in the third round. I'm just saying right now, in terms of value, I'd rather have Hendon Hooker in the third round than any of these four guys. I think Will Levis is like, I don't get why people think he's good. He was bad at Penn State in the limited action he got playing against backups.
Mhm.
They catered everything to him in Kentucky. Literally catered the offense to what they thought Will Levis could do. And Kentucky started off like I think I told John Kelly I'm like Kentucky smash spot. It's like at the 4th game of the season, and they just got murdered, and I'm like, I am so sorry. And then they didn't win again for 2 months, so I'm like, man, so I think Levis stinks. Now Richardson's interesting because Richardson's a project.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of like a Sam Darnold in that. I mean, I can't say he's as bad as Sam Darnold. I don't know, but like when the Jets took Darnold, I have friends that are Jets fans. I shouldn't say it like that. I don't like any of these people. I know people that are Jets fans, so I shouldn't say they're like my friends because Jets fans are like completely insufferable to me. And like Eagles fans are way better to me than Jets fans. Jets fans are like just a sense of like they think they're
Like a
like,
little
oh,
brother. They're like the Clippers.
like by week 2, like the whole offseason, all you hear from Jets fans is like, we've got a lot of potential. We're gonna make a run. We're gonna make, and by week 2, they're like, it's over. And I'm like, no. You made me listen to you all summer. Now you're gonna take your abuse that your team stinks. So the Jets made me some money this year too, but like whatever. So here's my point: the Jets took Darnold at like, I forget how high they took him, but it was like absurd. It was like 2, 3. They took him crazy. Where even coming out of the draft, people were like, his ceiling's good, but he's a project because he was still just kind of learning the position. He's raw. And what happened? They threw Darnold into the fire, got his ass kicked. I really don't think Darnold's like, he's all right. I don't think he's as bad as people think. He's not great. He's going to be like a serviceable backup in his whole career. But Carolina wants to replace him with Richardson, who's literally the same guy. Like, so I don't really understand it. Like, if Richardson goes in the first round, I think it's a horrible pick. I like him unless it's later. If it's late in the first round, that's fine. Because I don't think you can play Richardson at all next year. I think you have to like, you just sit him and you have him learn and you see what he can do. Maybe you even work some trick plays in with him because the dude's athletic. He's got a cannon. Maybe you work some plays in and just kind of slowly bring him in. But you can't draft him thinking he's starting week 1. Like you can't. I think and I don't know why anybody would take Levis. It's just me. I have him graded like he should be like a day 3 guy. I know it's not realistic, but like they just like that he's big and you can't teach size. As far as Stroud and Young go,
Exactly what they thought about Darnold. It's the same analysis.
I mean, Stroud and Young are going to go to the Colts and the Texans in one way or the other. They're going to be expected to start week 1 because the Colts have, I don't think Foles is coming back. Foles is done anyway. Foles can only play for the Eagles. We know that. Ellinger is so bad. And he was so bad in college that like none of this surprise. He was terrible at Texas. So like when your nickname is slinging, that means you throw interceptions. Like whenever you hear that's your nickname, pick machine. So like the Colts don't have any quarterbacks. So like whoever they take is going to start week 1. As far as the Texans go, I mean, and by the way, good for Lovie Smith. He knew he was going to get fired. So he won that last game to fuck their draft pick up to the call. And then he was like, hey, you're fired. Fuck you, buddy. Good. I'm glad I caught. And he had to know he was gone after that game. He's like, good. I'm just going to go win the game.
Yeah,
I'm going to go for 2. I'm going to do whatever I can to win this stupid game. It was hilarious. And it was good. It was good for the league. It was entertaining. Like, only way that Colts-Texans game was going to be entertaining. Or, no, that was the only way that game was going to be entertaining was like that. So that was fun. But they could still go Davis Mills for like the first half of the season if they want. I think they could be patient enough because the Texans aren't going to contend next year. So if they want to bring somebody along, that's fine. But the Colts, whoever they draft is literally going to play like that day.
Day 1.
Yeah, like day 1-ish, as the Usos would say in wrestling. But yeah, I don't like any of these guys. I think Hendon Hooker is an interesting play. There's one more quarterback I want to ask you about that's not projected on the first 2 days, but we have to talk about because he's won the last 2 national titles. And that's Stetson Bennett. He's whatever he is. He's 35 years old. He's undersized for the NFL. However, he's probably going to go day 3, if at all.
3 or 4.
Probably going to go 6th round. You think 3 or 4. I mean, we'll see. What do you think of him as like a late round flyer? Like, yeah, he's undersized, but like, dude's a fucking winner. And he's kind of accurate. Like,
here's my thing with him. If you watched the early games with Georgia this season, whenever he was under pressure, it was pick city or just complete inaccuracy throwing the ball outside. I don't think he's going to have any success in the NFL. Just being blunt. I don't think you can find success just because of his size. And the way he reacts to pressure, he had the best offensive line defending him. So yeah, you put anyone back there. You put me back there, and maybe I could throw a couple of passes. But when you have the best offensive line in football and you are a decent quarterback, you will perform good and you'll get all the spotlight. But in all honesty, it was the offensive line that deserved all of the hype and the credit for his success and his national titles. Because yeah, he was the one throwing the ball, but who's giving him all that fucking time? He was having day and night to throw the ball. So I just think he maybe goes like very late in the draft, maybe a backup, serviceable backup, key situations, trick plays, whatnot. But as a starter, I can't see it. I can't see it. No
Pat's
way.
saying that we all graduated college together. He was quarterback of our D3 school we went to in the mid 90s. He was no Mike Dijon Tommaso at running back though. Let me tell you that
And then
much. He was
and then
no
this
Mike
guy
Dijon.
goes out and gets arrested a week after winning the national title for
Oh, come
public
on, dude. He
intoxication.
was getting like you haven't been arrested for have you been arrested for public intoxication? I
No,
have.
arrested
Come
for
on.
other
Not
things.
arrested, but like they write you a ticket and they're like, they basically just call you an idiot. They're like, come on, dude. And I'm like, look, man, I had to pee. The wall was right there. Like, and they don't want to like arrest you for that. They're like, look, man, you just they basically just look at you and they're like, why are you an idiot? And I'm like, because I've been drinking, obviously. So Stetson Bennett was just like, dude, he's probably hasn't paid for a beer since he won the title. Probably ever
Yeah,
just
no.
wants to buy this pro beers. You know, he thinks he's getting laid every night. He's living his best life, dude. Like, I don't care. Look, he didn't get arrested for like pulling a gun on somebody. He didn't get arrested for like violence. He got arrested for being drunk. All right. Maybe he's just bad at being drunk. You can work
Yeah,
on
he's
that.
probably bad at being drunk and drinking in general.
I mean, what's crazy is like that Shockey never got arrested because all Shockey did was like get drunk in New York City. Like, I am shocked that he never got arrested, unless he
Was it a
did.
citation? I could have sworn I read that he got arrested.
Well, I mean, they probably like
Hmm.
took him downtown and gave him a citation. Like, I don't think he might look if you
Yeah.
spent the night in the drunk tank. Okay, like big deal, dude. Badge of honor.
Also,
Again, like it's not a violent. There you go. It's
let's
not a violent
go.
crime. It's not a violent crime. Like it's a victimless crime.
I don't know. I just don't like the guy. I don't know what it is.
Well,
He
you
bugs
don't
me.
have to like them, but not liking them and like crucifying him for getting public, like disorderly charges. Like, come on.
Yeah, you're right.
If that's the worst thing that happens to him in his life, he's doing all right. I'll tell you that much right now. So, all right, let's get to baseball because
That's
this
right.
is your for those watching for
Wow.
Wiz for the first time, I'd be shocked. But for those watching Wiz, he is the master of the no run first inning bet. A bet that I hate because it's like the most nerve-wracking, like any pitch and you lose. And I hate this bet. However, there's some things that are going to hurt you this year. One of them, the removal of the shift, which is huge. Number two, on a lesser but still important topic, the enlargement of the base is 3 inches, which is going to lead to more base stealing. But the big one, and I'm a traditionalist, man. I hate this shit. I hate rule changes. Unless it's like we don't if the rule changes, I don't have to watch baseball anymore. That's a great rule change. Or every game is 3 innings, great rule change. The pitch clock. And it's not just the pitch clock for the pitchers, it's the clock for the batters as well. So I want you to tell me and all the people across America and the world, nay, the world watching right now, how does this affect you going forward? Do you think the lines are going to reflect it? Like, you think you're going to get 20, 30 cents better? Like, is how much is first round offense going to go up? I know the shift, like you were talking about the shift last year. You were like, God damn it, this is like the end of an era. So
Hmm.
tell the talk to me and
Yeah,
tell us.
we'll address everything all at once because it's the easiest way to go about it. So I think what they're gonna end up doing, instead of it being no runs in the first inning, it's gonna be earned runs allowed. So if it is a pop ball out, fly ball out, it's not an earned run, so it won't count towards an earned. So that's how Prize Picks is doing it right now for the spring training. And you know what? That kind of negates the garbage like base hits that we're gonna get for missing the shift. For those of you that don't know what the shift is or
Well,
what a
we'll
shift
get to
is,
that. We'll get to that point a little later, but go ahead.
mhm. For those of you who haven't followed baseball or don't know what the shift is. The shift is like, say for a specific player, he always grounds the ball towards the right side. So they just put two players there so they can catch the ball and throw them out. They can't do that anymore. They can't line players wherever they want on the field to give themselves a defensive advantage. They want higher scoring games for more entertainment, for more viewership. So that's gone. And the bases, obviously, they're increasing size very slightly, but it still affects the game. Base stealing is going to be a lot easier just because you're able to get to the bag a lot quicker. Now, if it is earned runs allowed, if that's what they're switching it to, it's not going to be as bad of a change. But the one modification that I would have to do when looking for these bets is going to be looking for pitchers that are predominantly strikeout pitchers. Obviously, if you guys followed me back then when I went on that big nerfy run, I was looking for ground ball pitchers. I was looking for strikeout pitchers. It could be anyone. Now I'm going to have to limit myself to predominantly strikeout pitchers or pop out pitchers, because if ground ball pitchers are having an off day, it's going to be a very bad day for the nerfy. They're just going to get base hits left and right because there's no shift. They can't defensively place players wherever they want. Now, if they don't have it as earned runs allowed on the sports books, like how PrizePicks has it right now, and it's just going to be the same old nerfy, I think the nerfy lines are going to be closer to, like, for average pitchers, it'll be closer to around like plus 150 to 170, depending on how bad these pitchers are. And for the strikeout pitchers, it'll maybe be around like minus 120. But these, I'm talking about like the best of the best, cream of the crop, minus 120 to minus 130. So then you have to be very diligent, make sure that both of the pitchers, like you'd see a matchup like DeGrom going up against someone like Scherzer. And yeah, that's something that I will take any day of the week. Shift, no shift, bases, no bases, yada yada.
You're a stud pitcher. You're a stud pitcher. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah, you can count on these guys to get you strikeouts. So it just depends on how the sports books are going to adjust. Maybe they have both options. Who knows? They love these baseball props. They'll have both because they know how degenerate people get when it comes to baseball. And baseball is a huge market. When it comes to baseball, they have games going on every day for the most part, and it's in volume. They have like 5 to 7 games a day. It's very rare where you see a day with 2 or 3 games.
Only 2 days of the year there's no baseball games in season. Day before
Yep.
the All-Star break, day after the All-Star break.
Yep.
Or now 2
So
days after the All-Star break, I guess. I don't know.
it's a lot of volume. So the sports books, they know that people aren't going to be watching the whole game. Most people don't like betting on full game baseball. They like to bet on the props. They like to bet on stuff like the nerfy that's quick. They'll watch the first inning and, okay, I don't want to watch this boring ass game anymore. And then there's people that bet the first five innings just because they don't want any involvement from the backup pitchers.
Or they live bet it.
Yeah, and then you have the live bettors too. So it's just gonna depend. I mean, I'm excited for it regardless because it's my favorite bet ever. Like you can't tell me anything else that I would love to bet on. Not even UFC. The nerfy is my favorite bet. Obviously, yeah, you get heart palpitations. Something's wrong with you if you love the nerfy bet. But it's so beautiful.
There's another rule that I didn't mention too that I think is important here too, and that's the limited amount of disengagements from the pitchers. Now you only get 2 times you can step off the mound. It's not even 2 throws. You step off the rubber. Like, so could we see more balks? Could we see more, like, that's just another thing that hurts you in these kind of bets. Is like,
yeah, you're gonna see a lot more balks this season, especially with the sloppy pitchers. And when it comes to the pitch count, not pitch count, sorry, the pitch timer and the timer for the hitter to get back into the batter's box, hitter getting back into the batter's box will help the nerf because automatic strike if they don't get back in time. The pitcher clock, you're gonna have to look for pitchers that don't have big windups. Like, what's that guy's name from the Astros? I was about to say Severino, but that's the Yankees. It's where he goes, he rocks the baby back, forth, and then he throws the ball. I can't remember his name, but
Garcia?
Yeah, Luis Garcia.
No, Christian Javier is the dude that has like that crazy ass windup.
No. It's not Javier. It's Garcia. Okay. Yeah, he has long hair. He has a windup where he steps back, steps forward, middle, rock the baby, and then pitch. He's gonna have to change something in that kind of movement because it's taking up too much time. That's going to affect him. It's going to affect a couple of other pitchers that have those big windups, like Cueto, who was with the White Sox last season. I think he got traded somewhere. Or he signed somewhere else. But yeah, pitchers that have big windups is going to affect them a lot. So you can't really count on them unless they switch up the way they pitch and it looks good. Then by all means. But that's just like my thoughts on it. I think it's still going to be fine if they have it as earned runs allowed. I would prefer it that way as to just overall Nerfy being the same and having the adjusted odds. Because if it's earned runs are allowed, I'm not going to have to worry about like one base hit, possibly two base hits, versus the actual Nerfy. Yeah, you do. So we'll see. We'll see.
I,
I'm
th-
excited. 1 month.
I have some feelings about the shift and the comment you made. Now, first of all, I want you to understand that I'm coming from the perspective as somebody from my baseball career in high school and beyond. There's two things to note. Number one, I was a pitcher. So anything that favors the pitcher, of course, I love. But more importantly, because I wasn't a power hitter, I was a base stealer. They don't make them like me anymore. The way I played, like singles hitter, base stealer, like so. I never cared. The shift is irrelevant to me because I can hit to all fields. I don't hit powerfully, but I can hit to all fields. So to me, I was one of these guys that was like, why does the shift bother you? Just learn to hit around it. Like, imagine if Tony Gwynn or Wade Boggs dealt with the shift. They'd bat 500. Like, it wouldn't matter to them. They're like, all right, I'll just hit it wherever you want me to hit it. So, who does the shift affect? It affects power hitters. But it doesn't affect a dude like Schwarber, who is never hitting ground. I mean, if he hits a ground ball, he's out. I don't care if there's one guy on that side of the field. He's out. He's hitting a home run or he's not. Like, and the thing is most guys at the shift, like when they were doing it to Ryan Howard years ago, like, I mean, he doesn't, if he hits a ground ball, he may as well just turn back in the dugout. He failed. He's just trying to launch it. So, like, to me, learn how to hit around the shift. I forget who did this year, but I think somebody like bunted against the shift. It might have been Schwarber, actually. He bunted to third base against the shift and got like a double because it's
Yeah,
like good.
I think it was Schwarber.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
get
you're right.
you get punished for that. Like, so I don't like the new bases. I don't understand the point of it. Like, but here's my like weird question: if the whole point of these rules is to speed up the game, then why are you taking away the shift? Where now there's just going to be more offense. Like now the games are going to be longer because there's more offense. Like, I hate the extra inning rule with the base runners. I understand it, but like my favorite games are the ones like I don't know how much baseball you've attended in your life as an adult.
I
But
want
like,
to say like 7 games, 6 games.
okay. I mean, we
Right.
used to like when I lived downtown, we go to like 20, 30 games a year because you don't have to plan it. It could be like 6:45. You'd be like, you want to go to the Phillies? We just go. We get a cheap ticket. We sit up, but we got to stop at the liquor store and we got to get like 30 airplane bottles. You know, like I don't want to pay $12 a beer, but I'll pay $6 for rum and Coke. Know what I'm saying? So like I'm good with that. So in Philly, and I don't know how it works in all the ballparks, but in Philly, they stopped serving alcohol in the middle of the seventh inning.
Yeah, they do it here too.
Okay. But we're serving all day because we got airplane bottles for days. So some of my favorite memories of these games, like the Reds game, which was a Tuesday night game, went to 18 innings. Wilson Valdez pitched the 18th inning and was throwing like 94 miles an hour. Like their shortstop was just gunning fastballs. And we're like just fucking hammered, man. Like, and everybody like around, there's like 12 people in our like area of the stadium. And people are like, can we have one? I'm like, yeah, $10. You have $10 for one of them our bottles of alcohol, like because we want it. But we're just getting hammered. Like, and the thing is I'm bringing this story out, and the Phillies won the 18th inning. It's like a June game. Like the game didn't really mean anything standings wise, but that's not the point. The point is like I love those experiences, and I don't think and now you won't get those with these games ending in like the 10th. You know, like where they don't want extra innings. I understand it. It's a long season. I get it. They've also made a rule about when position players can pitch. Get the fuck out
Yep.
of here, man.
Yeah.
Stop. Like, just stop, man.
Like
Like,
the Mercy rule.
if you're getting killed, put it like, but yeah, but like, as a fan, don't you love when, like, as a fan, when you run out of players, don't you love when, like, you're seeing, like, a shortstop pitch? Like, I think Roy Oswalt was playing left field for 2 innings in that game I was talking about. Like, you get all
Last
sorts of
year, Pujols
weird,
was pitching.
yeah, like, that's fun, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's the fun of it. Like, they're stripping all that away to make a 3.5-hour game like 10 minutes shorter. And like, I don't understand. Like, the problem isn't like the length of the games, it's the pace of the games. Like the disengagement from the pitcher. I don't really have a problem with that. That should speed it up if you're throwing over 10 times. Nothing's more annoying than that. Like, I'm fine with it. You probably see more pitch outs now as strategic options, which I think is kind of could be interesting. But like, I don't know, man. I'm a traditionalist. Like, I kind of hate all these like new rules and like, but I don't think they're gonna get. They said the minor league games are sped up, but I don't know, man. It's gonna be weird. Like, let's see how the pitch clock affects. As soon as teams start losing games because of the pitch clock, oh, there's gonna be. Imagine losing. You're gonna lose a bet. Look, you're gonna lose a bet because of the pitch clock. You're gonna win one because of the pitch clock too, but you're gonna lose a bet because of some horseshit guy stepping in the box a second too late and getting called out. And it's gonna be so. It's gonna ruin your night, dude.
It happened in spring training. They were tied in the 9th inning.
It was bases loaded in the 9th, and the guy got called out.
Yep, 1 second too late, and strike 3. So they went to overtime.
Yeah, I don't know. I know like not everybody in here is soccer guys. Yeah, I don't. That's fine if you want to make the game more exciting. I'm fine with it. But they're talking about they'd like the games to go under 3 hours, and like so. Like again, I know people aren't big soccer fans in here, but one of the beautiful things, especially like to go out and watch a game with your boys, is the game's going to take 2 hours. If it says 10 a.m., the game literally starts 10 a.m. 10:40, let's say 6. Here comes halftime, and there's 20 minutes. Go smoke cigarettes, go get a couple of beers, go to the bathroom, whatever you got to do. You come back at 11, 45 more minutes, extra time, game's over before noon. Like less than 2 hours, the pace is there. People are like, they were complaining in the World Cup, they're adding too much time. I'm like, dude, the game's still like 2 hours, as opposed to like football being 3.5 hours, baseball being 3 whatever hours, basketball where the last 2 minutes take 30 minutes. Like, I don't know. You want to make a change in football to make the whole game better. You and I are obviously big football fans. Get rid of the whole challenge thing in the 2 minutes. Just get rid of it. It should just the coaches get challenges. When they want to use the challenges, they can use the challenges. Like and also like, look, if you got your first 2 challenges right, you should continue getting challenges till you get one wrong. Like, but take it out of because then every play under 2 minutes is reviewed, and it takes. Look, they sped up the review process this year. The reviews were a little faster. Great, like they're doing them in real time, where they don't have to go to a full review. That like people are in the booth telling the refs, "Hey, man, he was out of bounds or wasn't caught." They were speeding it up, but just put it in the coach's hands. And you know what else? Get rid of go the whole college route. Get rid of the 2-minute warning. Fuck the hell with it.
Yeah, I've never understood what the fuck is the purpose of the 2-minute warning
for TV. That's the purpose of it. It's an extra timeout.
The stupidest thing in the world.
I mean, I love the college pace, dude, because like your team gets the ball. Because Bama has the ball. There's 4 minutes left, and I love like the momentary stoppages moving the chains. You're rewarding the team for doing something right. I love it, but like, there's no commercial. Like you're just playing and you're just watching that clock. 3 minutes, 2.5, 2, 1. You're like, oh shit.
Instead of hearing
so
Whopper,
exciting,
Whopper,
man.
Whopper, Junior, double, triple, Whopper. Impossible or bacon Whopper.
Ugh, I hate you.
I
know I hate these commercials. But I mean, like, if the pace of the game, get rid of kickers in football. Hey, man, Pat. Pat, this is wrong of him because didn't we win a bet on a kick doinking off the post for the Super Bowl? Like, come on, man. Made us some money.
That was a good one,
man. I don't know, man. I think football is great as it is. Baseball, again, I don't understand these. The one thing you could tell them is like, you could take all the commercials out. They'll be like, no, we can't do that. It's like, oh, okay. But you want to speed the game up? There's a way to do it. Take all the commercials out. I do like the rule of, yeah, there you go. I do. Jesus, there you go. See, Dan knows. Dan knows about the Mickeys, dude. Those things are out of hand. I like I don't know, man.
Shout out to Dan.
Well, Dan's, the first time I ever saw Levy, I made a joke. I'm like, take that goddamn Braves hat off. And
yeah, you don't like the Philly Braves.
No, I have no issue with the Braves. I think their organization is. I hate the Mets. I despise the Mets. But no, the Braves.
You have that coming
the Braves are like rivalry. Like, But the Braves are like a greatly run organization. They don't overspend for free agents. Their farm system's good. Like I think they run a team the right way. So like they always have great pitcher. Like they're like pitcher university. So like I've always respected the way the Braves run their team completely.
My favorite pitcher on the Braves has to be that young kid, Strider.
Well, he's the first.
That dude
Well,
is
yeah,
gonna be
because he's
a
a nerfy
champ.
guy. Because he's
He
like an
is the
unstoppable
most
first inning guy for you, of course.
unstoppable nerfy guy. Like maybe he's burned me twice in the whole season. He'll just strike out anyone and everyone in 3 pitches, 4 pitches max, and he's just gone, done.
I mean, they
When he
like
was
when they had
injured
like
for that
their.
period of like 2 months or 3 months, I missed him so much. He was injured for like a decent part of the season. Like, no, one more nerfy opportunity missed.
I mean, like just everybody they've produced over the years. Like I know Smoltz wasn't a farm system guy. They got him from Detroit, but they got him for like I think that might have been the Doyle Alexander trade. I know I'm going back like a lot of years here, but like they got Smoltz for nothing. Like Glavine was so good. Shit, Jim Abbott was good for that team. He had one hand. He was good for that team for like they're no hitter for that. Like so
Have you
he.
seen the video of that ambidextrous pitcher on
I know.
college? I want to say.
I know there's one dude on the A's that can do it.
Oh, really? I don't
He
know.
has a weird. He has a yeah, like Verrett or something. He has like a weird glove where like it looks like a 6-finger glove, and he switches it like. But he typically doesn't switch it batter to batter. He does it like inning by inning. Like I don't think he
Okay.
because your mechanics, dude, your whole body's gonna get so messed up from like the mechanics of it are gonna be brutal. It's hard, dude. It's hard enough throwing like just righty or lefty,
Yeah, no,
like
you're
the
right.
frame.
You're right. No, this kid in college, he switches it batter to batter, left and right. That is
That's
nuts. And
I,
he's equally effective with both. I think it's only like a 2-mile-an-hour difference.
oh, it's got to take a
Like
toll on you, though, man.
93 to 95 or 94 to 96. I think
Shit.
he's predominantly right-handed, but he can pull out the left hand when he's facing like different batters. So
I
it's
mean,
crazy.
I mean,
That's
I would bat lefty solely to drag bunt. But like, if that was my first at bat of the game and you'd never see me, you just think I'm a lefty. So I drag bunt, and then next time I'm up, I'm back to natural to righty. And they're like, "What the hell's going on? What is this guy? Like, what happened?" So I think but it's hard. Dude, everybody that's a righty tries hitting lefty, and you try throwing lefty, and you look like you have no athletic talent whatsoever when you try
yeah.
to throw lefty. At least lefty batting, you can kind of like you can learn like to slap at the ball and like make contact, but like you're not effective. You don't have any power. So I don't know how these guys do it, but like I can only imagine the toll it takes on your body to throw both. Like,
Yeah, I went axe throwing. I know this is off topic. I went axe throwing the other day, and I was throwing like with one hand, my right hand, and I was like, "Let me try with my left." That axe did not make it to the board. It's so different. It's so different. Like when you're trying to switch, whatever you're doing, like whether it's throwing a baseball, throwing an axe, throwing a football, writing, unless you're like fully, completely ambidextrous, then nope, you have no chance. No chance. Yeah, unfortunately, Evan has no hands. Wait 1 second. What's up, Liam? I will be right back. Lou, take over. My little nephew is saying someone is here.
all right, I guess maybe it's the nerfy police coming
It
for
might
me.
be the nervy police.
I'm gonna go back to UFC real quick then, or maybe we'll just talk about what it's like to live in the woods. Suppose we could. Now I'll address that for the Friday show. Here are my quick picks as of right now, subject to change as I have not finished taping. Bo Nickel to win is a safe pick. Let's start from the top. I'll take the dog shot on Ribovics as of right now. Don't know if we'll get there. Fareed Basharat, Tabitha Ricci decision. No bet on the Simon Martinez fight. Jesus. I guess Martinez at the price, but I don't know if I'm going to get there. Ian Gary in the distance. It's a setup fight. Barry Alt decisions prop is wild. Arujo decision is like plus 180. I like that. Duplessis in the distance. I think the Garbrandt decision prop is just mispriced. Bo Nickel by prison stuff round 1. Matoush Gamrot. But I don't know if I'm going to get there at this price. I don't think I can. Shavkat submission. I think Jeff Neal's tough, and I'm nervous about the sub prop. I think Shavkat wins. Valentina Shevchenko, and then the split decision prop in the main event. I didn't know what else to do. I just started going through my projected plays right now. But that split decision prop is going to be wild odds.
I'm pretty sure.
And you know, I can't do a prop show without at least one split decision prop in there.
Well, what's your Yam Bags play besides the gun Jones?
I mean, I typically don't. I mean, I got to go to the lab to really like.
Okay.
But I'm just hold on. But I can look. Here, you know what? Let me just look. I haven't looked at this yet. Let me just look for one. You know what I'm looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Kirk. I don't know why it still has Kirk and they're up there. Switch Orthodox. That's all right. Please give me this one. No, I can't do clam bags there. Martinez Simon has a lot of potential here.
Yeah.
Lefty versus righty. Oh, fuck these guys, man. Born in 1996 and born in 2000. Fuck me.
How about some clam bags?
Well, that's what I was looking for. So, like, I don't know. I think Ricci's just going to take her down a lot. I don't want to really screw with that. A Rujao Hebos, I guess. Like, I'm never betting that in a Valentina fight. But,
No, I think Valentina's going to remind a lot of people this time around who she is. You're
like the next time Agapova fights,
the next time forgot.
The next time my homegirl Agapova fights, is clam bags. Like, I don't care if she's fighting.
Yeah, or she's foaming at the mouth.
I know it's hot. It's like so hot, dude. I like it is just she is just everything I could ever want in a human being. And like that breakup will be like amazingly epic. Like you'll have memories for the rest of your life. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
on both sides of a jail cell.
Horrible,
you will have memories. That says you. I don't think so.
With a chick like her? With a chick like her? Yeah, horrible.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of stuff. Like, doesn't matter to me what she takes. Like, like I ain't got drugs, so like I ain't worried about that shit.
She's gonna be slashing your tires. She's gonna be breaking your doors, breaking your windows. I don't know.
I know it's hot. It's so hot. It's
you like that? Yeah, I can tell.
Look, when you get older, sometimes the excitement leaves your life, and like that's exciting. Oh yeah, that's great.
I get it.
All y'all watching this, just remember you mocked me. Just a couple of years, be like, that guy was onto something. He knew.
Well, I think an hour and 7 minutes for our first little talking smack is probably as much as we'll go. We covered a lot, and my nephew is hungry. Yeah. He was like, "Someone's here." It was just the mailman.
Liam Betts Fights Jr.
Liam Betts Fights Jr. He might be making his debut on the channel very soon.
That's awesome.
He's very excited about it, so we'll have to plan it out. I'm not sure when I'm going to start that series, but to be decided. But if you guys haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, follow Lou at LouBetya on Twitter, MMA Engine on YouTube. Lou, let the people know what you got going on this week.
Wednesday night recording props to consider, and then maybe bet with, as I said earlier, with Addicted to Combat, Pat and Cody, Blood Money Bets. Friday, the happy hour with Monk. It's the first time we ever didn't do a show. Was this last week? Monk was sick and I was unavailable, but we're gaining on 50. We're almost at 50 shows, Monk and I. So pretty cool that we're almost that far. And then I think right after that, in lieu of Saturday, Brady is doing his best bets. He's had a yearly competition with 10 of us. I'm pretty sure when this thing started, I was plus 3,000 odds out of the 10 of them to win the competition. I have a massive lead in this competition 2 weeks in. They should all be embarrassed. They should all be humiliated that they're losing to a hack like me. But we got a long way to go. I believe the panel this week, this is a killer panel, dude. No, you, Wiz. You'd only make it even more killer. But Brady, myself, Narco, and Gordo is an absolutely killer panel. Thank God one of us is funny to cut through like all the brilliance that they have. Thank God one of us is, just there for shits and giggles. But I believe that's going to be Friday at 7 p.m. That'll be on Brady's channel because he's going to Vegas. He's going to be at Vegas for the fights, which is really cool. And then last thing I'll say is in a month, I will be in San Antonio, most likely, at UFC San Antonio with all the Pub Sports dudes. Brady's going to be down there. Billy motherfucking Briz is going to be down there. A lot of, I assume some of the Bag family from Pub Sports will be down there. So I'm really looking forward to that too. I've only been to one UFC event ever, and it was forever ago. So
It's about time.
I'm very excited. No, I'm so excited.
That should be really fun. I'm jealous. What day is San Antonio again? I can't remember.
28th, something like that. 25th.
Okay.
3 weeks from this Saturday.
I'll see if I can make it down.
We have the Jan fight next week is the main event, and then we have Edward Zuzman is the 18th, and that's Cheeto and Sanhagen. I will be betting Cheeto. Let me just get that out of the way. I will be unloading the tank on. I'll be unloading the roll on Cheeto in that one.
It's tough for me in that one. It's tough.
He's gonna murder Sanhagen, man. Right now. He's just look. Forget about the skill set. You and I, I'm sure, will do shows analyzing this. Forget about anything like right there. Would you want to get in the way of Cheeto Vera right now? Because I don't. He's just going to wreck fools. And don't think in the back of their heads, they're not looking for a way to get Vera and Sean O'Malley to run it for the title like a year from now. Don't think that's not on the table, man. Because if O'Malley can win the title, I don't care if he wins a split decision to get the title. If he wins the title, his first defense, assuming he hasn't lost at that point, his first defense is against Cheeto Vera. Yep. You can't tell me otherwise.
No, it's set up for that way.
That sells pay-per-views. Like that sells. I mean, O'Malley is a money mover. Him against Vera is like,
they had beef.
All I know is
I just checked. My spring break is the 27th to the 2nd.
Shit.
So
nice, dude. All I know is the Sugar Show Athletic Commission already told me he didn't lose that fight against Vera. So it's a no contest according to him. So he's never lost. I don't know if you know that. O'Malley's never lost.
He hasn't, no.
According to the Sugar Show motherfucking Athletic Committee.
Did you already get your tickets for San Antonio?
They're on the way.
Okay.
I'm still, let's put it this way. They're available to me. I don't want to say how, but they're being held for me. I'm just
Media?
making sure. No. I'll tell you off there. But I'm making sure that everything can work out time wise and like travel wise and all that.
Gotcha.
Shit. So I have to make that. I mean, this week I'll know. So
cool. All right, guys. Maybe we'll do this again next week. We'll see. But until then,
we're doing it next week.
Yeah, we're probably doing it next week. We'll see you.